Hello everybody and welcome to the bonus wave. Yes, that's right, we're doing the damn thing again. I have been told that there is content afoot. I don't know much more than that. So we are jumping in to this hole and we will see where we are. As expected, we are in the Lazerhawk's home. This is J151909. I guess I will ping this now for people who have not gotten it. Let's see here. Check the old D scan. I see there's a nag fleet out somewhere, so we're gonna see if we can find that. Which of these? Is it this one? Okay. So we're going to go to a place. We're going to go over here. And we're going to see what happens. I have no idea what tonight's going to look like. This is going to be kind of a weird one. Going to be a little strange. But, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll get a fight out of this. So, we are in Lazerhawk's home. If you're not familiar, this is the bonus wave. We do streams of fights. When fights are happening, Wormhole Space. In EVE Online. And we are here. On grid. I see. Interesting. So we have a single nag fleet shooting an Athenor. It's kind of an odd. It's not what I was expecting. Not really a fight necessarily. This is more of a single nag fleet shooting an Athenor. There are some other smaller things that appear to be moving around the grid. Some flycatchers. I saw a Bifrost earlier. Oh, HAWKS is pulling a moon rock. That's great. No, nothing being said in local. A saber landing. That is a SYNDE saber. We're just going to orbit at this range here. What's up, Vay? Hello, everybody. Like I said, I don't really know what this is going to be. If it's going to be anything at all. Currently, we have a nag fleet of T-gun shooting an Athenor in... Oh, that's not the nag fleet. This is the nag fleet. Shooting an Athenor in HAWKS' home. An unusual strategy. To get a fight, but it is a strategy. Now, we're going to check D-scan here real quick, because I want to see if there is anything else. I don't really see much else around. Not much, if anything, that would imply there is a fight happening. A lot of forts and various other structures, as is standard. But not much in the way of a fleet. So it may be that I have been baited into watching T-Gun shoot an Athenor. Which is technically content. So, you know, that's what we're here to do. We are here to report on the news. Listen, as a journalist, you don't decide what the news is. You know, you just got to show up and you gotta report it. So that's what we're doing. That is what we are doing here tonight. We're reporting on the news. It looks like I see sabers kind of all over the place. We're going to look at some of these sabers. It looks like they may be making tacks. Maybe they're cloaking. Maybe they're setting up some positions around here. We have no idea. We have no idea what we're looking at. So we're just going to play it by ear. I'm continuing to check D-scan. Still no fleets. I don't see any fleets. So, you know, this is the kind of thing that can happen when, you know, one angry Australian pings you at 11 o'clock at night, says, "Hey, there's content happening. Come on down the chain." You come on down the chain, and you just get to watch him shoot an Athenor by himself. So, God bless you, T-Gun. I don't know if these other characters are his alts. Maybe not. Got to give the time for structured bot to give everybody a heart attack. That's possible. That's possible. Old Man Hawks. Now, see, listen. Last night there was an event that took place wherein Forsaken Few rang the doorbell, as it were, in Hawk's home and received a rather dramatic response. So maybe that's what T is hoping to accomplish here. Regardless, he sure is making quick work of the Athenor here. We're just gonna get real up close and admire the geometry, the excellent work in spaceship artistry of the Nag fleet. Good looking ship. I named this stream, I think I named it Wormhole Gaming because I didn't know what it was gonna be. I should have just named it Nag Fleet Gaming. Yeah, it's no Phoenix. That is true. It is almost shiny, but you can. This one I think has not been dusted off in a while. There's a little bit of dirt and grime on it, as is often the case with Mimitar ships. Still not too much. I see a saber, but we've seen a couple sabers already. Certainly no Nighthawk fleets. No, nothing like that. Oh, a Hawk saber has landed. A Hawk saber has landed kind of off a ways from the Nag fleet and is approaching the Nag fleet. Okay. All right. We have some action. Hawks has put a saber on grid with T-Gun. This is the gaming that you are here for, folks. The opportunity to watch this Nag fleet fight this saber. A bubble is up. Okay. We are gaming. Let's see what happens. I see two Nighthawks. Two Nighthawks have undocked, looks like. Not too much else. I see some more sabers. A lot more sabers. Well, not a lot more. Actually, you know what? It's like 200% more, but there's only one. So I see three sabers undocked. And two Nighthawks. Here is another saber. A donut saber. You know, like I said, I wasn't sure what we were going to be getting tonight. I'm not sure this is what I had in mind when he said come out here and you know, watch whatever this is going to be, but you know, here we are. Kai Strom says kill T-Gun. Well, it's certainly possible. I would not be surprised if Hawks sees this as an opportunity to drop a hammer. If they undock, they'll need to undock, I think, probably more than two Nighthawks and now four sabers. But these Hawk sabers, they don't fuck around. I mean, these things are dangerous. You got to be careful with this shit, man. Oh no, I've been aggressed by a saber. Oh, this is the worst. Oh, beans. This guy's gonna scram me. I'm gonna turn on my afterburner. Oh, he's no longer scamming me. Oh, let's see here. We're just gonna go up this way, and I guess we'll burn up towards T. Still not quite sure what the game plan is here, but you know, I admire the enthusiasm of dropping a Nag fleet to shoot an Athenor. That's a lot of fun, you know? It's a whole lot of fun. We're just gonna burn up this way. Oh, pretend child, why do you gotta do me like this? I'm so slow now. Not that I was fast before, but why no cloak? Well, I gotta tell you, it's because I don't have any high, or my high slot is currently consumed with a single probe launcher. Actually, I don't even know if I can fit a cloak. This thing is not much in the way of fitting effectiveness in the old monitor, but you know, we do what we can. Now we're just gonna kind of stay in this range. Again, I'm checking D-scan. Just a lot of sabers, not much of anything else, honestly. So they are going to hold him here. I imagine they could hold him here all night if they wanted to. You know, could do that and wait until you know, EUTZ Hawks wakes up, or you know, whoever else. Now I do see Bubbly Wubbly and a Bifrost. I think that is a T tune. I think this might just be T. Like, I think this may very well just be T gun. So I don't know what the plan here is. I don't know what the game plan is. I feel like I might have been baited, which is fine. It's not like we're doing anything else. T-Gun is aligning. He is aligning out of the bubble, I think. Is he moving? He is moving. He is just propping straight up. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let you know a little secret. Oh. A SYNDE gang of Nighthawks has landed on the grid. Okay. All right. This is some... Okay, I don't know how I didn't see them on D-scan. They must have been at a SIG somewhere. But not a lot of Nighthawks, honestly. Just like, let's see, maybe 12 Nighthawks, a couple Lokis. There is a new SIG in the system. I have to assume that's maybe... There's no way they put enough mass through to get force a new roll, right? I don't see any other caps, and really I don't see any other Nighthawks either. Just the Nighthawks that are on grid right now. I said two more that have not landed on grid yet. I think those are the ones from HAWKS we saw originally. Oh, and I'm no longer scrammed, so I'm just going to prop back on, and we'll just continue to orbit. Now this Athenor is not. It is repairing. It's no longer being shot. But there now is a gang of SYNDE Nighthawks on grid. Whatever that means, I have no idea what the outcome of this is supposed to be. And I also don't see any Cyrus Karush on grid, which is kind of strange. Maybe old man Cyrus is asleep, as often happens. I know I would be asleep under these circumstances. So we're going to just, you know, keep an eye on all this, and T is now out of the bubble. I repeat, he is out of the bubble. Well, mostly out of the bubble. Okay, now he's out of the bubble. Okay. Oh, the Athenor is being shot now by SYNDE Nighthawks. Doing some damage, and the Nag fleet is warping away up to a, looks like maybe a attack up there. Looks like the SYNDE Nighthawk gang is going to finish up the reffing of this structure. I guess they're just gonna ref this thing. It's an interesting choice. I still, again, I mean, this isn't. It's a handful of Nighthawks certainly, but they're just kind of in a disorganized mass down here. There's really not too much going on. I wonder maybe if this is the work. I see a lot of Nighthawks, so immediately my reaction is this is the work of Abu Wahid, right? Abu Wahid, well known for being a Nighthawk aficionado, and when you see so many Nighthawks on grid like this, you have to think this has to be Abu Wahid Gaming at its finest, and that is what I'm assuming here. We're just going to go ahead and zoom in on Mr. Wahid here real quick. As you can tell, a Nighthawk appreciator. Going with the bare skin, no extra skin on this fella here. Clearly, you know, just appreciates the raw kind of energy of the Nighthawk. Doesn't need any kind of extra work on top of it. Oh, and it looks like they are aligning and warping off. Okay, where are they warping to? They are warping to a bookmark over there that I can see. But that doesn't really help me much. Are we done? I mean, the structure is now reft. I guess that's it. Maybe? Alright, well I'm gonna not I'm gonna not sit here. This is probably a bad place to sit. So I'm going to warp in the direction that they're warping. And hope that I can, you know... Oh, I see a banana pie. Landing on T-Gun in the Naglfar. Oh, wait, hang on. We're going to wait. We're going to wait here. T-Gun in the Naglfar, now once again, we're going to look up here, is bubbled. By... There were some sabers. We did see some sabers. T is bubbled. He's just hanging out. So I really do feel like I probably should not just be sitting here on grid. I feel like it's probably a bad idea. But I don't want to leave. I mean, if I leave, right, that's how the terrorists win. Now I see a Scorp Navy. I see some more Nighthawks on D-scan. And a couple Onyxes. I don't know if these are Hawks Onyxes. And I see a Golem. Okay. A Bargus as well. Fascinating gaming happening here. You know, I am going to... Oh, I really feel like I should be up there in the thick of it. There has been a contact in local as well. We have a comment from Star Conqueror, says well. I don't know what that means, but he has said it. He has said well. I see a Tengu from Lazy Asian cloaked somewhere. And you know what? I am going to... It's a deep comment. It's a very deep comment. A new site has spawned in Hawks home, so that's exciting for all the, you know, the various Hawks. Oh, hang on. All right, more SYNDE stuff is landing here now. Where are they landing at? They're landing at a attack. Okay, there's another attack on grid. And a SYNDE Minakawa is here. Okay, and here's the rest of the SYNDE fleet. Okay, so that explains a lot. There is actually a SYNDE fleet landing. So they intend clearly to do something. I'm glad we did not warp off, friends. That would have not been ideal. I'm going to... Oh man, what's going on here? What's happening? I don't quite understand it. But it makes me excited. It does. We're going to warp up towards this I think there was a bookmark up there I could see. There is. I'm going to warp up to that bookmark. As we see more sabers landing, more basilisks landing. The SYNDE fleet is converging on T-Gun in... Yes, this is... I will say, Tiber in chat mentions this is a pretty big form despite an attempted coup by Tiber. You know, impressive work as usual from SYNDE to recover from, you know, the attempted coup earlier this month, or rather, end of last month. Okay, so I'm noticing something strange. Is that SYNDE is on grid. They have 2 caps. They reinforce an Athenor. There is nothing else on grid. There's no Hawks fleet to fight. So, I'm not quite sure what the intention is here. Because currently they're just sitting at attack. Yeah, Hawks very well could be asleep. Now, I will say, I see other Nighthawks, a lot of other Nighthawks, including Michael 1995's Nighthawk. It is very possible that we're about to see Hawks engage this, whatever it is, here on the grid. Finally, after all this anticipation, what do we have landing here? A Vulture from Darius Karush. Okay, so Cyrus did wake up in time for this. That is exciting. Okay. We're gonna sit here. And we're gonna see what happens. More just in general right now, so what we're looking at. Oh, all right, and here come Hawks. A Hawks Nighthawk fleet with Golem support. Okay. Listen, the wait was worth it. Here we are. Hawks is landing. They have Nighthawks, a couple. I see a Golem in there, a Loki, another Loki. You'd think they have to be bringing more than just that. It'd be very weird if we didn't see cap support from Hawks, but they do have a lot of Nighthawks. That's a lot of DPS. So we're gonna get down into the thick of it and take a look at this here. We're going to do the standard maneuver. We're going to start locking up some things. An Amar frigate has already died. So that's interesting. Let's see. This Loki here of Tetsuo from Hawks looks to be the initial SYNDE primary. And for Hawks, looks like they're going to be shooting Andravis in this Tengu here. Okay, Hawks did bring a lift. Hawks brought a lift of Trelli Taliquo. Which is, you know, pretty standard fare. We've seen that pilot before out here. Oh, this SYNDE Tengu taking a lot of punishment right now. But again, SYNDE does have capital support on grid. A lot of Nighthawks from Hawks. Jesus, that's a lot of Nighthawks. We're just going to do a quick... Oh yeah, and you can just see over here on the side... Look at all these Nighthawks. That's a lot of Nighthawks. But both groups are engaged. So let's take a look. See here. Looks like this Nighthawk is going to be a primary, and so is this one. We're going to take a look at these two here. Or sorry, that Markov Martingale from SYNDE now taking a lot of abuse, while Rhubarb Pie in the... Nighthawk seems to be doing fairly well. T-Gun in the Nag fleet shooting just the lift of Trelli Taliquo, who will easily tank that. That Nighthawk, or that Naglfar can put out quite a bit of punishment, but, you know, this lift is, I'm sure, just absolutely shit tanked. So that shouldn't be too much trouble at all for him to deal with. At the same time, again, this Tengu of Markov Martingale under a lot of pressure right now. Let's zoom in here and take a look. Whew. That is a lot. Let's do the thing I always forget to do, where I have to slow down my camera a little bit here. There we go. Oh yeah, much more cinematic. There we go. Look at this. Yeah. I'm basically CCP zealous at this point. All right, it looks like SYNDE is now going on to the Golem of Lilith Snow, getting punched pretty hard. They will apply quite a bit better to the Golem than they will to the Nighthawks without too much extra application. I don't know what their application looks like on this grid, but also, I mean, again, it's a Hawks Golem sitting underneath triage. It should be okay. Just at face value, it looks, or just from at a glance, it looks like Hawks has a numbers advantage, which you would expect. This is their home, and SYNDE did just kind of rock up out of nowhere for, you know, unknown reasons. But all right, let's check out this nightmare. I think this nightmare is a SYNDE Firewaller, I assume. I'm not sure. We've seen a lot of that recently as well. These nightmares are so hard to kill. So, you know, they have such a they can be absolutely brick tanked, and you need to be when you're the you know, the focus like that. We have another Hawks Nighthawk Mandrake Talon taking a lot of punishment right now, but again, without the you know, them being able to put pressure on this night or on the lift just yet, this Nighthawk's gonna be probably gonna be able to tank just fine. Now, I will say one thing we haven't seen too much from yet. I'm just gonna zoom out here. We do have Bouchers of the Coup Man himself, Taber, and one of his alts, probably lining up some Spearfishes here before too long. We know both of these groups have strong opinions about spearfishing, so we're going to turn off this overlay. There we go. That's a little bit cleaner. What's this one here? The Tengu of Feeny Weenie. See, these Tengus, these Tengus are going to be targets of opportunity because they are certainly probably a little less, probably a little squishier than some other things on grid. Let's take a look at this Tengu as well. Hawks now doing a bit of fast swapping back and forth between a handful of these Tengus. I'm not sure who the Hawks FC is. I'm just going to look at a couple of targets we've seen here so far. Who are the belligerents? Okay, so we have two different sets of... Well, the belligerents in this case are Singularity Syndicate. Singularity Syndicate, or SYNDE, you'll hear me name them throughout this broadcast. SYNDE is... they have rocked up into Hawks' home, refed a Raitaru, and now are currently engaged with a Hawks fleet on the same grid as that Raitaru, which is below, or not Raitaru, sorry, Athenor, which is below us. All right, Hawks now starting to put pressure on T-Gun in the Naglfar, maybe seeing an opportunity here. T-Gun does have a Balgorn of stewed squirrels sitting above him, doing a bit of a suck, and another Balgorn below also sucking. And you can see this. We're going to lock up T-Gun here. Now, T-Gun has a couple things going for him. T-Gun is an experienced nag pilot, so he will be able to inject rep, you know, with the best of them. I don't know if Hawks has enough DPS on grid right now to make his life too difficult if he's inject repping. But they certainly can. Now, maybe they're just going for the nag fleet, thinking that it's the you know, the best target on grid. But it's hard to say. MDN JPN in the Scorp Navy does go down. I don't know where that one, how that one got missed. That Scorp Navy should have been a lot tankier than that. MDN, of course, a blood traitor to my group, an enemy of the state, and unfortunately for Hawks, he does drop. T-Gun in the nag fleet. I say this. T-Gun in the nag fleet also suffering a lot of oppression here right now. Interesting. I mean, taking. Oh, okay. A little bit of bait tankery. Oh, a Phoenix Navy of Moosh. Oh, Jesus, this name, Moosh Voz Mosno from Hawks has landed on grid, and boy howdy, that's a lot of pressure to be putting on this nag fleet, who now it drops into armor. Oh, T-Gun. This is so much DPS, my friend. SYNDE needs to be doing something about that Phoenix Navy, or they're going to be in more or less the same situation they were in last time this happened. T, I don't think, is repping enough to mitigate this incoming DPS. Those Phoenix Navies, who I say that he's on the bleeding edge, the absolute bleeding edge of being able to stay up. I mean, he's right on the absolute brink. He seems to be doing a little bit better here. Now, he'll be able to run his guns throughout, of course. He does have capless guns, as does the Phoenix Navy, and he seems to be holding just fine right now. Now, SYNDE, you can see here already. This was their game plan last time as well. So SYNDE has decided, who opted to put their Nightmare, the smart bombing Nightmare, on top of the HAWKS Nighthawks to try and peel off some of that missile damage as he's able to kill those missiles while they're in flight. As long as he's within range of the triage, he'll probably be fine. And you can see every time that Phoenix Navy lands a volley, T-Gun just gets chunked. HAWKS is hoping that they can line up an injector cycle with one of those volleys so that he's finishes repping as or rather he finishes repping, gets down low enough, and before the next injector cycle can come in, they're able to land one, put him further into armor. I think man, this is a lot of pressure on this guy. Now, at the same time, this Phoenix Navy of Muj Vosmajno taking a bit of damage himself, but the Phoenix Navy is one of the best shield tank ships in the game as far as active reps go. T-Gun, I don't think, is going to be able to put up with the same kind of oppression that the Phoenix Navy will be able to handle. So this Phoenix Navy, I fully expect, will far outlive the NAG fleet, but I've been wrong before. HAWKS does have... Oh, okay, we have a Mastodon coming onto grid here. This is, I believe, a SYNDE Mastodon, probably delivering cap charges, or is a cap... Maybe they're trying to bump him off, I think is what's happening here. And this Mastodon, the life of this Mastodon is going to be very important. This Mastodon significantly prolongs the life of the NAG fleet. Oh, this Phoenix Navy dropping into low shield. Look at all this damage coming in on the Phoenix Navy. Oh my goodness. Phoenix Navy in the same position as the NAG fleet. Really, at this point, it's just a matter of who can handle their inject cycles better. And right now, it looks like the NAG fleet's gonna outlive it. There's no way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The Phoenix Navy now into deep armor. Deep armor. He is getting some cycles off here. You can see he's starting to tick back up. T-Gun in the NAG fleet doing the exact same. But this Phoenix Navy is almost into hull. Oh, if he gets just one more good volley in there. Oh, he's desperately inject repping. I really didn't feel like they had enough DPS on grid to be able to put too much pressure on this Phoenix Navy. Unless this is a cheeky I think it may have been a little bit of cheeky bait tanking down to 3% structure or 3% armor. If that's the case, what a gangster fucking move, man. What an absolute gangster move. Yes, this is HAWKS versus SYNDE, everybody, in HAWKS home. SYNDE rocked up the HAWKS home, refed an Athanor, did a little bit of a cheeky doorbell, and now they are both engaged, locked in a pitch struggle. HAWKS with a numbers advantage, I believe. I think it may be slight, but I do think there's a numbers advantage there. And this Muj Vosmajno, if that was what he was doing, that's extremely cool. Just a bit of cheeky bait taking to try and get the SYNDE fleet, that much more committed to the grid. Yeah, both dreads have stabilized now. I'll tell you, this smart bomber down here of Exotius Adister, that may also be some Abu Wahid gaming, but what do I know? This fella down here is going to be doing a lot of work. He's not in a good position here. He needs to be, okay, so you'll see on my screen here, he needs to position himself right here in the middle to be able to capture these waves of hams as they come in. That's part of the, it's not enough just to anchor on their anchor and just stay among the group. Preferably, you want to be between the two things. You want to be between the target and the ones doing the shooting. So he's putting in a lot of work. You can see he's still, there's still a lot of damage he's able to pull off from back here. And now they are going to go on to the Nightmare. Looks like they're starting to split damage. But the Nightmare is hard to kill for the same reason, right? Because that Nightmare, as long as the Nightmare is able to run those smart bombs constantly, the Nightmare is going to be able to mitigate a lot of the damage that would be coming towards itself as well. And also towards the dreads. So unless they're able to find, somewhere wherever that cap for that Nightmare is coming from, and start to deal with some of that, they're going to have a hard time getting that nightmare down. Now, so both of the dreads have stabilized, which is an insane thing to say. Muj Vazmajno got down to 3%. T-Gun in the Nag fleet got down to 45. SYNDE now going in again on MDN from HAWKS. Once again, blood traitor to my group, MDN. But glad to see him back in the fight. He has rejoined in a nightmare, but is kind of off on an island over here. Still well within the range of his triage. We'll put the tactical camera back up so we can see what that looks like. Hang on a second. Where's my... Oh, there we go. Because where am I? Here we go. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna get a little bit closer. I really shouldn't be. As a journalist, you put yourself in the line of danger every day to to catch the real story. But this is just what we have to do. So, HAWKS looks like they are going to be moving down towards this Balgorn here of Vladimir Estidal. Oh, a HAWKS Nighthawk does go down. It looks like they were able to fast swap onto one of those Nighthawks. And the Phoenix Navy warps off. Interesting. How in the world did SYNDE let that happen? That is insane. He got the warp off and is no longer on grid. Crazy. Okay. Well, there you go. That's what happened. HAWKS now going in hard on this Balgorn, who is suffering pretty hard right now. They need this Bal. I mean, you need to be able to continue to put pressure on that lift. Yeah, just getting a free repair in. No big deal. Just going to go touch up at one of the 70 stations in this system. Get a quick tune-up and then be back in the field. So, we can see now from our... looking at our Z-Kill over here on the side... I don't see too much new over here. Just some sabers. There's that Scorp Navy from a little while ago. So Z-Kill's a little bit behind us, which is fine. We're paying attention. We're watching things as they die. Yeah. See this is exactly what SYNDE wants here right now. They want to set this nightmare right on top of the target, which is this Balgorn, and you can see how little damage is actually being applied to the Balgorn. It's insignificant damage in the grand scheme, and that's better that at this point HAWKS, what they have to do is they have to be looking for where that cap is coming from. It takes so much cap to run these smart bombs. Even with a well-fit nightmare in this case, you have to be looking for where that cap is coming from and going after that. I assume it's probably some of these basilisks that are down here, if I was going to guess. In fact, looking at just where some of these cap transmissions are going towards, all of them are going up towards the Balgorn, going up towards the nightmare. Going up towards the other SYNDE Balgorn over here of Cryonox, who I'm not super familiar with. Alright, SYNDE, what are you shooting now? They are shooting, I think, this Balgorn here. Yep, of Cassandra Thesant, who's now taking the brunt of that oppression. I still can't believe they got that Phoenix Navy off, man. That's insane. What a fucking play. That was so well done. It's almost aggravating. But they did do it, so good on them. Let's see here. Okay. For everybody who's just recently tuned in, there are a lot more people here now watching than there were when I looked in a few minutes ago. Welcome to the bonus wave. We're in the middle of a pitched combat right now between Singularity Syndicate. Oh, I am way too close to some stuff that is happening here. It is time for me to move over this way. Time to prop on and get the fuck out of Dodge. Yeah, we're going to sit over here. HAWKS versus SYNDE part, I don't know, 70. It's hard to say at this point. HAWKS now going in on Xerxes. SYNDE still pressuring this Balgorn, who is trying to burn away, get out of range of some of that DPS. But as long as, if they can keep that, I saw a boost just now. I don't see where it went. Maybe I was imagining that. I'd be curious to see what, if any, damage this Nag fleet is actually doing to anything on grid at this point. Because without a ton of web support, the Nag fleet is going to have a rough time. We see more HAWKS, Nighthawks landing now. They may have warped off to repair. I say that, but man, there's just a lot of Hawks on grid at this point. SYNDE really does seem to have kicked the Hornet's Nest. Cassandra Thesaunt in the Balgorn now, taking a lot of damage down into hull and drops just like that. Another one of these Bals goes down, or rather, I think this is maybe the first Bal that goes down for either side. Now up here, you can see this broadsword of Zerois in HAWKS making the gamer move of bumping the Nag fleet, trying to get that the Nag fleet down. Another Balgorn of Stewed Squirrels is looks to be the next SYNDE primary. At the same time, HAWKS. What are you shooting, HAWKS? Where are you at here? I think it's something in the middle of this group here, but it's kind of hard to say. I'm having a hard time seeing where all that damage is going to. We're gonna lock up this this Minakawa as well, just so we have them both up here. I think it's this character here, Ronan Maudib, is the HAWKS primary, who's taken like I said a significant amount of DPS. Nag started hitting the ball. Yeah, I would say so. That Nag does an absolute nuts amount of damage when it's applying well. And as we can see here, this Balgorn of Stewed Squirrel getting chunked, absolutely chunked by the Balgorn. They can't deal with the alpha. It's so much damage from that Nag fleet. This Balgorn needs to get some transversal up. You can see HAWKS now absolutely committing to trying to bump the Nag fleet. They need to get that thing moving, or else whenever it's able to track things like this Balgorn, it's going to be putting a ton of pressure on the HAWKS triage to keep it up. So we can see that one is a primary target. This one here as well. This Nighthawk from SYNDE of Wolfram de Valvia. I don't know who the fuck half these characters are. These two groups have so many people in them, it's nuts. Yeah, Stewed Squirrels and the Balgorn taking a lot of pressure right now. All it has to do is, as long as the Nag fleet can track it, it does go down. Another HAWKS Balgorn drops. That Nag fleet is oppressive, absolutely oppressive. You have to wonder when HAWKS are just going to say "fuck this" and pull out the absolute, the gun it down in the street maneuver, drop 3 or 4 phoenixes on this thing, and just put an end to the Nag's reign of terror here. Looks like another target being called here from HAWKS. The Learned Hand in SYNDE. I'm trying to figure out who the SYNDE primary is. Let's look around on this side. These two fleets are right on top. Oh, Jesus. Right on top of each other at this point. I think it's this one here, Plump Bratwurst in the Loki. That Loki is going to be hard to kill. I'll tell you straight up. It's the SIG is so much smaller than some of these other targets, and they're not going to have nearly as much help from the Nag fleet. All HAWKS would have to do is just bump their own Loki, and even as things sit right now, they're all just kind of sitting on top of it. Just the jostling back and forth, a lot of times can be enough to keep transversal up in such a way that the NFI won't be able to track it, which I suspect is probably what's going on here. Now, I will tell you one thing about this NFI, that it has, as a bonus, those shots cannot be firewalled off. So I wouldn't expect him to be in too much trouble there. Let's see here. Thank you, CCP, for adding these absolutely obnoxious missile graphics, so it's easy to see who the primaries are. Sebastian in the Nighthawk from SYNDE being primaried here. We're going to unlock some things because I think some of these targets are dipping into half shield. HAWKS, I think has a pretty significant numbers advantage at this point. I feel like SYNDE may have lost some Nighthawks somewhere along the line because it feels like their Nighthawk numbers are way down, especially compared to HAWKS. Yeah, I think they have quite a bit fewer. So they are probably likely losing ships that I'm just not seeing right now. Where am I at? I'm over here. Okay. We're going to just stay out of this bubble just in case. take a look at this Tengu here of SYNDE. Did Abu die? That wouldn't surprise me. Not that Abu has a tendency of dying or anything. Certainly not. Markov, Martingale in the Tengu. Once again, the primary for HAWKS. And SYNDE. What are you going after here, SYNDE? Is it one of these things here in the middle? SYNDE just doesn't have that much. I mean, they have the nag, which is great for them. But that's a lot. That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of DPS from all these HAWKS, Nighthawks. You can just see how many of them here are still on grid. Yeah, no bench warmers allowed in fights like this. No, nobody here is a bench warmer, except for me, clearly. Man alive. It's okay. HAWKS now going in on this Nighthawk down here, Peregrine, who seems to be all off on his own, but still well within range of the triage, so he should be okay. I'm trying to figure out what SYNDE is even shooting at this point. You know, all these, again, you have to find targets. They're going after the Artanis Talander. Artanis Talander. Maybe a cheeky headshot looking for. At the same time, Xerxes Karush in the Nighthawk for SYNDE is going to drop. That's a lot of damage going in. Man, there are so many Nighthawks on grade. People don't realize, when you're talking about this many Nighthawks, that's multiple dreads that all apply nearly perfectly. When you factor in how much damage each of these things can do, especially if they heat. It's just so much damage. How many of these guys do you think are playing the watermelon game right now? I don't know what the watermelon game is, but I'm going to say several for the sake of the funny meme. Xerxes Karush saved by the fucking bell here, but will be an easy target the next time they decide to swap, just based on how deep into armor he is, or deep into the hull he is. See, SYNDE's in a tricky spot now because HAWKS doesn't have much in the way of larger targets. And just looking down the list, I don't see, except for this one golem here, and if obviously the lift, I don't see too much more in the way of battleships. And so the Nag fleet, not quite as easily able to track cruisers and battle cruisers as it can battleships. So they really need to get these things slowed down. At the same time, I mean, he's got good range, so who can say? Who can say? Oh, well, it's 1 a.m. Eastern, and this fight has no signs of slowing down. So I want to thank everybody, of course, for being here. This nightmare of Exocius Adister, I don't know what he's doing, but he's not getting up in the mix. Oh, never mind. I say that he just now turns his smart bomb back on, but he's not really close to too much. So I'm not sure if he's just pulled off because he doesn't want to. They're trying to shoot a target, as is often the case. SYNDE, I think that Loki is probably not going to be the one you want to kill, because he is not taking much damage at all. This Nighthawk of Kalari Seeker, a second primary looks like. What is this fight over? Study breaks. This fight is over nothing. One group rocked up into another group's home. Ref the structure, said come out and fight, and that is what they're doing. They are coming out to fight. All right. So we're going to keep an eye out here. Okay. Some DPS now going in on the lift. I don't know why they're shooting the lift. That seems an odd choice. Yeah, where's the Pogger head? Good question. SYNDE is shooting the lift, it looks like. That seems like an odd choice to shoot the lift right now. I don't think the lift has to die at some point. I shouldn't say that. SYNDE just does not have that much DPS left. I mean, they have, okay, I shouldn't say that. They have some DPS. They still have the Nag fleet. But, you know, at a certain point, you have to wonder, like, what the win condition is here for SYNDE. Because they don't really have enough DPS unless they can web something down to next to nothing. But they are going in on this lift, I guess. This is the play. I haven't seen a ton of new pressure on this lift, so maybe they think this is the play. While they still have their cap up, is to go after the lift. An interesting choice. I don't know if it's one I agree with, but this SYNDE fleet is significantly smaller than it was when it started. I think I don't really have a way to justify that. I'm still trying to figure out what this Nightmare is doing, just kind of back in the back. He's not really up on top of the HAWKS fleet at all. All right, HAWKS now shooting. It looks to me like, yes, SYNDE in the Nighthawk. Gonna put pressure on another one of these Nighthawks. Yeah. That's a good point. So here's, people ask a lot of times whenever they watch these videos, especially if they're not super familiar with how wormhole fights work. People assume that there has to be like some kind of target or some kind of objective or something. A lot of times they don't. Groups just run into each other. Somebody shows up, says, "Hey, I want to fucking fight," and you either fight or you don't. But a lot of times when fights break out, it's because of stuff like this, and it's what makes wormhole space, in my opinion, the best space, because there's so many groups in this space who are just willing to. I think Cyrus might die here. Oh man, this he has to be Johnny on the spot with these broadcasts from Xerxes. Because if he misses, he has no armor or hull buffer left. One good one good breeze will knock this one down. But yeah, these fights really are just for the fun of it. Yeah, see, this Nightmare is doing a good job now of just kind of staying on top of the HAWKS fleet. You have to wonder if HAWKS is going to go down back onto him here before too long. But it looks like they're really committed to trying to get rid of this Xerxes, which is, of course, one of SYNDE CEO's Cyrus Karusha's alts. Some additional damage going in on the Rattlesnake of Sawwind from SYNDE. I don't know what the plan was. I don't know what the plan was with shooting that lift. It seemed like an interesting choice. Now, SYNDE looks like... What's going on over here? Oh, these are those basilisks again. Okay. Basilisks are still on grid. They're going back on this golem now. The golem, we said, was the last significant target of any size on the grid for HAWKS that isn't the lift. If they're able to web that golem down, that is something that the nag would have an easier time applying to. But HAWKS also just kind of bowling through the SYNDE fleet right now, which is really funny. Which has the added benefit of forcing the smart bomber to either turn off his smart bombs so that the SYNDE fleet can actually apply damage, or okay, a SYNDE. Let's see here. The SYNDE Loki looks like it is the HAWKS primary here. That Loki now dipping into, well, holding kind of even at 75-ish % shield. Man, look at this HAWKS fleet, dude. Look at this swarm of Nighthawks. What a look. Check this out. I mean, you don't get this shit everywhere, folks. You do not get this shit everywhere. There's nothing quite like this anywhere else in the game. I'm curious to see. Let's see. They're moving up. Oh, looks like they are going to try and go after these basilisks. Basilisks. Oh, you're in tough shit there, my friends. You're in tough shit. Those basilisks have been feeding cap to the smart bomber this entire time. If these bassies drop, which they very well could, and very well, it looks like they very well will, that is going to significantly reduce the SYNDE firewaller's ability to do his job, because he needs the cap in order to stay up. But oh, yep, one goes down. Okay, it took them long enough to figure it out. They probably didn't need, you know, our help, our guidance to make that happen. But yeah, the bassies they're now, once these bassies are done, that is as close to a win condition as you know, HAWKS might have right now, because those bassies are what is keeping the overwhelming majority of the DPS from, well, I wouldn't say overwhelming majority, a significant amount of the DPS from HAWKS from applying to things on grid. Once that nightmare is no longer able to do its job, you have to wonder at a certain point if that's, you know, as good a time as any to start thinking about pulling the plug on this endeavor. I say that, though, these two bassies are still up, despite being a primary. Yeah, I mean, they probably can't with facts. I mean, that's just so much damage. It's absolutely so much damage. And now HAWKS are approaching the night. Okay, SYNDE, looks like maybe they're going back on the lift. Because you can see HAWKS now is approaching. Oh, they're going after the Mastodon. I knew it. I knew the Mastodon would come back. This is like the recurring villain. The Mastodon is back. They really want to kill that Mastodon because they need the Nag fleet to not be able to get to those cat boosters. They're going to try and bump him off. They're going to try and kill him. The Minnow, I don't think he's going to be able to keep him up, and he does drop. That sucks for you, T-Gun, and I think that can, wherever it popped out, is probably out of range of you. So I hope you were able to scoop whatever 3200s you were able to get from that. But I kind of doubt it. Let me tell you, folks, what we're going to do here. You know, we enjoy we enjoy what we're doing here. But we also would like to live. So I think this thing is just about done. So we are going to align out because the last thing that I want is to get stuck here again. So we're going to get the fuck out of Dodge. And it looks like the SYNDE fleet might be thinking the same thing. I don't think there's too much left for SYNDE to do on this grid because they're in a tough spot, in a real tough spot. At this point, you have to think about extracting whatever you can. That Nag fleet is done. The Minakawa is definitely done. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're sticking around on grid for at this point. There's not really much else they can kill. I think they probably need to bail. Hawk just has so much on grid currently that, you know, even best case scenario, I don't know. I don't see it myself. Was there no hold control for that fight? Probably not. No. I mean, that can happen. Sometimes groups will do hold control in the middle of the fight, but HAWKS has a ton of their members on grid right now. I don't know how committed they are currently, like how much extra stuff they've got on grid, but or how much extra stuff they have available to do hole control, to be rolling off holes in the background. SYNDE, I don't quite know what you're doing down here. They're not really shooting. I guess they're shooting this Nighthawk of Artanis. But I mean, that Artanis is sitting right underneath this lift. He's not going to be able to pull this one off. I'll tell you this. It was a cheeky move. Was really fun to watch. But you know, for all intents and purposes, I think this one is probably done. I don't see how what is effectively just a skeleton crew at this point is going to be able to pull off this extract. I would have really expected, I think, to see SYNDE trying to burn out now, and I think they are. But I think they've waited too long. It's not gonna be pretty. It is not gonna be pretty. I mean, sacrifice some Nighthawks, that's not a huge deal. They probably don't care about that. That goes to show you, folks. It goes to show you when you go into HAWKS home. You are on a timer, for better or worse, and not to say that SYNDE didn't get their licks in. They absolutely did. HAWKS lost some things in this fight they probably wish they had not lost. But like I said, when you're in HAWKS home, the moment that ping goes out, Caps tackled in home, you are, you're on a timer. So HAWKS home is probably more defensible than 1DQ. I think so. I absolutely think it is. Yeah, if you're in SYNDE, you probably want to look away. This is not going to be real pretty. I really don't know what they're still doing here, unless I think there are some targets in here that they can still try and pick off. But I don't know. This is interesting. This is interesting. Unless I think that they can get the minnow off somehow, but the minnow is bubbled, pointed. It is not going anywhere. Planning rat tactics. I don't know if there are enough rat tactics in the world to come back from this. I mean, that's a lot of Nighthawks. That's so many Nighthawks. I say that, but bubbles are going down. Maybe they're just trying to pull off tackles, trying to shed tackle. I'm shocked these Bassies haven't died yet. I would have expected them to go down ages ago. But they're both still up somehow. As is the minnow, as is... I think at this point, HAWKS is just trying to... dismantle whatever is left of the SYNDE fleet before they pull the trigger, which is why I'm so I can't quite figure out why SYNDE hasn't pulled the plug on this one yet, unless they really think they're gonna be able to get some of this stuff out. I don't see it myself, but I admire the enthusiasm. Maybe looking for a couple more easy frags in here. Maybe there are some easy frags. Again, anything that nag fleet can track becomes an immediate target. Because it just does so much. It does so much damage so quickly. It is easy to overwhelm even the best prepared Logi on grid. And, shocker, I am pointed by an Ares. That is not surprising even a little bit. Well. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, see, these Bassies, They have decided to go for the Bassies. I still don't quite understand what the SYNDE fleet is doing. They really are not. I guess they didn't hear no bell, but I don't know. I don't know. Yep, the last Basilisk, I think, is going to be dropped here shortly, and he does go down. So now that smart bomber is just, like I said, on its own secondary timer of how much cap am I going to be able to keep up. Baku in the... Nope, Baku is not the primary here. The primary is this one here. This other Basilisk. Oh, there's another Basilisk. Okay. Weird. Yeah. Was worth a shot. Hawks are landing another Balgorn. Oh. And I fucked that up. I'm free. Well, I don't want to leave. That seems like a dumb thing to do. So we're going to stick around. Fuck it. Why not? We don't have anything else going on. And monitors or ammo. We're going back into it. This last Basilisk is the target for Hawks, whereas Hawks or SYNDE now going back on this Loki of plump bratwurst. But again, that Bassie goes down. I don't know, man. I just don't see any more targets. I don't see any more targets for SYNDE. They're outgunned, certainly outgunned. They aren't able to keep that. They're not going to be able to keep the those, what do you call them? Those smart bombs up for much longer. Yeah, we're just going to a line. I think that is it. I'm being told that I should check Michael 1995. We're going to take a look at him. Let's have a look-see here. Oh, Michael is the primary. Holding well. You know, holding real well. The old man still got it. In the background here we have Anemone from SYNDE. Is now the Hawks primary. I think Anemone probably is probably in worse shape than Michael is, if I was going to guess. Oh, yep, and there goes that Nightmare. Nightmare now taking all that pressure. You know, I say that. Michael, he's getting chunked a little bit. I'm not sure what he's getting chunked by. Where's the Nag fleet? What's the Nag fleet doing over here? Just pointed. Just shooting. Doing his best. The Nightmare drops. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Yep, I think that is it, friends. And that Phoenix Navy comes back in to perform the coup de grace, and I think that will do it. I think that Phoenix Navy is going to be put the finishing touches on this effort from SYNDE. A noble effort, certainly, in the name of content. Hard to say no to that, but at the end, I think it will probably be a generally fruitless one. Am I no longer scrammed? Question mark. I'm not. He fucked it up. Bad news. I'm warping off. Folks, we're going to leave it there because I don't want to die. And Hawks will gun me down the streets. So, I think that will probably be it for this. Unless I hear anything else in the next 5 seconds. Let's wait. Let's see if they find out. They wanted to fight. They did it on purpose. Yeah, absolutely. They wouldn't fight unless we fought on grid with their structure. That may be true. You know, I obviously can't say. I'm not sure if that was necessarily on. I mean, the benefits of a structure grid are significantly diminished when you're 4,000 kilometers away from the structure. Really, at that point, the fact that you're surrounded by structures is the bigger advantage. And they did do reships, but of course, like I said, it's 1:30 in the morning and you're in Hawks home. These things are expected, I'm sure, and they probably did expect them going into it. That all being said, folks, we are going to exfil here now because I think that is going to be it. Thank you all for joining us tonight for the bonus wave. I hope this was entertaining in some way. Good fight to both of these groups. Anytime we get the chance to do this, I'm super excited to do so. And we'll do it again next time we have the opportunity to. So until then, folks, thank you again. I'm Mark Resurrectus. Sorry. This has been the bonus wave, and we'll see you next time.